guys, so today I'm going to show you how to set up these little sticky ball things in Vellum. So let's start by dropping down a geometry, and let's start with the balls. So a sphere, and this sphere, let's put that to polygon, get the frequency up, and let the scale down. So here we got it, and now let's make it Vellum ready. So I'm gonna make it a cloth ball. So configure cloth, and in here I'm just gonna take up the stiffness to 1000, I think, and also the bend stiffness to 1000, because I don't really want a cloth ball. I want more like a rubbery type of ball. So that is all we need to do. So I'm going to have a null that's going to be out ball, and then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do out ball constraints, and let's make these guys black, and there you go. Okay, so we have the ball. Now we need to emit the ball. So I'm going to have a grid here. So here's our grid, and I'm going to have a scatter on it. We don't want that many points. We want like 1 point at a time. So I'm going to 1, and then the global seed to frame. Doesn't really matter. So now we're going to have a point that is moving around. One thing with this setup though, we're going to get too many balls. We don't want to have this frequency of balls. So what I can do is I can change this force total count. Instead of having it to 1, I can set this to frame, and then I do a modulus and set this to 10. So what does modulus do? So this is going to count up, and then when you reach 10, it's going to start again at 0. You can see that if I go here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. That is not exactly what we want, but it's a start. So we have this, and then I'm going to do equal to 0. So this would be every time this is 0, the value is going to be 1, and when this is false, it's going to be 0, which means that we're going to get a point every 10th frame. So we can see we have that. Boom. You can see if we switch that, you can see, yep. Cool. All right, that's all we need to do with the points. So do out points, and then black as usual. So we have the balls, we have the scatter. Now we need a collision object. So I'm going to do a grid. I need to get the rows and columns up because we need a lot of points when we do this, because they're going to attach to the points. And also let's make it twice the size. And I'm going to have a transform. And I'm going to move it down a bit. I'm going to turn off the points here. So I'm going to move it down by 7. And then I'm going to rotate it, so 30 maybe. So here we have this grid, and it's under the scatter points, so they're going to fall down and hopefully stick to this later. To have them stick to this object, I need to make this a Vellum object as well. So I'm going to do a Vellum cloth for this guy as well. And here we don't really care about any settings. The only thing we care about is these pin points. And I'm going to set star. That means pin all the points. And you can see we get a little constraint on each point. So now this is not going to move. And now we're going to have a null, and it's going to be out grid. And copy that. And have a out grid constraints. And black as usual. Okay, so now we have everything ready for the simulation. Let's drop down a .NET. And in this, we need a Vellum solver, obviously. And a Vellum object, like so. And we're not going to change anything with this, but we are going to drop down a Vellum source. Like so. And here in the Vellum source, we're going to switch this emission type to instance on points. So now we can use our little setup. So we have the subpath, that is going to be the ball, our ball, constraint subpath, and that's going to be ball constraints, and the instant points is going to be the points. So let's see, do we have anything that works? And yep, we can see we have balls appearing everywhere. Right now they are a bit boring, so let's add some gravity to it. So we have some action. So we have the gravity, and now they are going to appear and fall. It's still not very cool, so let's get some collision in here. I'm gonna have another Vellum source. And let's rename this first one to balls. And this one to, we're gonna merge. And we're gonna have this to grid. And for this guy, we can have only once, that will work perfectly. So let's just point to that guy, our grids, and our grids constraints. So now we have that guy, and let's see if they are colliding. Whoop. And there they are appearing, and they are bouncing off. Perfect. Boom, cool. One thing we're gonna see, though, it might not matter for you, but say that you would be a little bit closer to them. You will see that they are not, they're kind of colliding like above the grid. And if you want to change that, you can go out, and then if you go to the ball, for example, and go up here and visualize thickness, you can see we have all these spheres, and they are the actual thickness. So if you want, you can just take them down a little bit, and you can do the same thing on this cloth object. And by doing that, you're going to see now they're much closer to the surface. So just a good thing to know. Okay, so we have that, and it's cool that they are bouncing and all, but we want them sticky. And that is super easy to do. Just gonna make this a little bit neater. Let's just add another constraint here. A Vellum constraint, that is. And on this Vellum constraint, we're gonna set this constraint type to glue. Glue, and also create constraints not on creation frame, we're gonna have that on each frame. So by having that, you are going to see they get created and they stick. So I hope that you found this useful and learned something, and see you next time.